We all have moments when we forget why we walked into a room or struggle to find the right word. But what if these little lapses become more frequent? What happens when it starts to affect our day-to-day life? Hello everyone, and welcome back to Speak Healthy. Today, we're going to explore the top 10 subtle signs that might raise a red flag for dementia. If it's your first time here, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to Speak Healthy to raise your health awareness. Now, on with the video. Sign number 1, memory lapses. We've all had those moments when we've searched high and low for our keys, only to discover them in the most unexpected places. But what happens when these memory blips become more frequent, leaving you frustrated and concerned? Misplacing keys more often than usual or finding it increasingly difficult to remember important dates and appointments could be subtle indicators that your memory needs some extra attention. Forgetfulness is a common experience, but when it starts interfering with your daily life and causing significant inconvenience, it's worth paying attention to. It's as if your mind is playing a game of hide and seek with the information you once effortlessly recalled. You might find yourself relying more on reminders, sticky notes, or smartphone alerts to compensate for your memory lapses. Sign number 2, difficulty with language. We've all experienced those moments when we're passionately engaged in a conversation, and suddenly our words seem to escape us. It's like having a word on the tip of your tongue, but no matter how hard you try, it remains just out of reach. Frustrating? Absolutely. But what if these instances become more frequent and start causing genuine concern? Well, my friends, it could be more than just a simple brain hiccup. Language is one of the fundamental ways we connect with others, express our thoughts and emotions, and navigate the world around us. It's a complex dance of words, grammar, and meaning that flows effortlessly for most of us. But when the choreography starts to falter, when you find yourself grasping for words or struggling to string together coherent sentences, it can be a disorienting and distressing experience. Before we continue, please check the link in the description to an all-natural supplement that will support your healthy hearing and improve your mental sharpness. It's full of carefully selected ingredients to give you a multitude of health benefits. Sign number 3, disorientation. We've all had those moments when we venture into a familiar place, only to feel a sudden wave of confusion wash over us. It's as if the well-known paths and landmarks that once felt like second nature have become a perplexing labyrinth. Have you ever experienced this disorienting sensation? If your internal GPS seems a bit off lately, it's time to pay attention. Imagine strolling through your neighborhood, a place you've traversed countless times before, and suddenly finding yourself uncertain about which turn to take or struggling to recognize familiar landmarks. The once familiar streets and buildings that formed your mental map now appear foreign and puzzling. It can be a disconcerting experience, shaking the very foundations of your spatial awareness. This disorientation extends beyond physical spaces. You may also find it challenging to follow directions, whether it's a set of instructions, a map, or even a simple route you used to navigate effortlessly. The sense of being lost and adrift can leave you feeling vulnerable and anxious. Sign number 4, impaired judgment. Life is full of decisions, big and small, and we've all made our fair share of questionable choices along the way. It's human nature to occasionally veer off course or make mistakes. However, when these lapses in judgment become more than isolated incidents and start forming a troubling pattern, it's time to dig deeper and consider the possibility of something more serious. Impaired judgment can manifest in various aspects of life. It might be difficulties in evaluating risks and benefits, making poor choices in relationships or personal matters, or displaying impulsivity in the situations where caution would be more prudent. You may find yourself engaging in behaviors that are out of character or going against your better judgment. Sign number 5, change in personality. We all have our unique personalities that shape how we interact with the world and the people around us. However, when you start noticing uncharacteristic shifts in your mood, behavior, or attitudes, it's important to recognize that it could be more than just a case of the grumps. It's essential to pay attention to these shifts because they can extend beyond occasional mood fluctuations. Changes in personality may manifest as becoming more withdrawn or socially disengaged, losing interest in activities you once enjoyed, or displaying uncharacteristic behavior that surprises even yourself. Sign number 6. Reduced initiative. Life is full of activities that bring us joy, purpose, and fulfillment. Whether it's pursuing hobbies, engaging in social interactions, or taking on new challenges, our level of initiative plays a significant role in our overall well-being. However, when you find yourself losing interest in activities you once loved and the mere thought of socializing feels like a burdensome chore, it's time to listen to your inner voice and find out what's really going on. Reduced initiative can extend beyond hobbies and activities. It can also impact your social interactions. You might find yourself declining invitations, avoiding social gatherings, or feeling overwhelmed by the thought of socializing. Engaging with others, which used to bring you joy and connection, now feels like a daunting task. It's as if the desire to initiate and maintain relationships has become muted. Sign number 7. Difficulty with complex tasks. We all have our share of tasks that require a little extra mental effort, whether it's tackling a complex recipe in the kitchen or solving a challenging puzzle. These activities often provide a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. However, if you find that tasks which were once a breeze now leave you feeling overwhelmed and bewildered, it's time to uncover the cause behind this shift in your abilities. Imagine stepping into the kitchen, ready to recreate that beloved recipe that you've mastered in the past. But suddenly, the once familiar ingredients and steps feel like an intricate puzzle, with each instruction becoming harder to comprehend. You struggle to follow the recipe, find it difficult to remember the proper measurements, and experience confusion about the sequence of cooking techniques. What used to be a joyful and creative endeavor now feels like navigating a labyrinth of complexities. Difficulty with complex tasks can extend beyond cooking. It may manifest in challenges with managing finances, organizing schedules, or even carrying out work-related responsibilities. Tasks that once seemed manageable and routine now require tremendous effort and leave you feeling mentally drained. It's as if your ability to break down complex processes, problem solve, and multitask has become significantly impaired. Sign number 8. Problem with abstract thinking. The world is full of abstract concepts that require our minds to think beyond the tangible and dive into the realm of imagination and intellectual exploration. Whether it's grasping complex metaphors, understanding symbolic representations, or unraveling intricate puzzles, abstract thinking is an essential cognitive ability. However, when your brain seems to hit a wall every time you encounter abstract ideas, it might be a sign that something's not quite right. Problems with abstract thinking can manifest in various ways. It might be struggling to understand complex philosophical ideas, experiencing difficulties with symbolic reasoning, or finding it challenging to interpret figurative language. Tasks that require conceptualization, abstraction, and creative problem solving become increasingly arduous as your brain encounters obstacles in navigating the realm of abstract thought. Sign number 9. Difficulty with visual perception. Our visual perception plays a fundamental role in how we navigate and understand the world around us. It allows us to make a sense of the visual stimuli we encounter, accurately judge distances, and interpret the rich tapestry of visual information. However, when you find yourself struggling with tasks like judging distances or interpreting visual information, it's time to give your eyes and brain a checkup. Difficulty with visual perception can extend beyond spatial judgment. It may manifest as challenges in recognizing faces, deciphering visual patterns, or struggling to follow visual instructions. You might find it harder to navigate complex visual environments or experience difficulties with tasks that involve hand-eye coordination, such as playing sports or participating in artistic endeavors. Sign number 10. Challenges with planning and organization. Life is filled with tasks, responsibilities, and goals that require careful planning and effective organization. Whether it's managing your schedule, tackling projects, or accomplishing daily to-do lists, the ability to plan and organize is essential for a smooth and productive life. However, If you find yourself constantly struggling to plan and complete tasks or feeling overwhelmed by simple organization, it's time to take a closer look at what might be going on. Challenges with planning and organization can extend beyond work-related endeavors. You might notice difficulties in managing household chores, keeping track of appointments and deadlines, or even organizing your thoughts and ideas. The once effective systems you had in place to maintain order and structure now seem ineffective and inadequate. And that's a wrap. We hope you learned a ton of information from today's video. If you like this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe to Speak Healthy for more videos like this one. See you next time.